What's good, everybody? Peak of the Beak finals today, right now. Hopefully, I think we are just waiting on Hydro Pump to show up. Absolutely hype. I gotta say though, these Peak of the Beak tournaments, I think they're getting longer, because I feel like this one started at like the beginning of April or something. It was like way back. It was like at least 3 weeks ago. So I thought these tournaments used to be like 2 weeks or less, I thought, but maybe they like got looser on the. I don't know what the time limits were exactly. It's like 48-hour rounds or something. So who knows? But they took their sweet time. Just part of the reason I don't like playing in these sort of events, because I don't know. I just don't like having the thing being drawn out over weeks. It's just not my thing. But I can see why some people would like it if you've got like a busy schedule or something. And makes it. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is between Hydro and Yondaime. Hydro Pump was actually in the last Peak of the Beak finals, I do believe. He was playing Blackwing at the time. I think he's playing Vayu Turbo this time. I saw a replay of him against one of my teammates. So I do believe that's what he's playing. And Yondaime pretty much exclusively plays Hybrid Blackwing, so kind of already know what decks the players are on here. Rhinoid says there were a bunch of extensions. I guess that's okay. So Yondaime just gonna go Shura set one. Not a great opening, not a terrible opening. They're doing the thumbs up back and forth. So there's gonna be no dust shoot in standby. Looks like. Is there any Welladad at the top? I don't know the top cut yet. I'll go over it in like I don't know a video next week probably, or I'll put it up as soon as we. As soon as the top cut is released, I'll do a video covering it, because always like to see the topping deck lists, and apparently you guys do too, because topping deck list videos get tons of views, so I'll always be sure to publish those as quick as possible. Hydro is big thinking here, just going to set one, playing around Icarus attack. Respectable. I've seen Yondai and Frogs lately. I have not. I've never seen Yondaime play anything but Blackwing. Actually, they both have like bird-themed decks. Kind of wait, wasn't the finals of the last Peak of the Beak was Blackwing versus Vayu Turbo? The bird-themed tournaments just always get the bird-themed finals, it seems. And we see now why Hydro didn't set any monsters. He really wanted this Dust Shoot to resolve. And Yondaime apparently just has a bunch of monsters in hand. I don't even know what you take here. There's two Blizzards. Maybe just take the Bora. Probably just the Bora. But it's hard to know. It depends on what's in Hydra's hand. There's not really not a great option in this situation. If there was only one Blizzard and you could take the Blizzard, it'd be great. Because it would mean once you deal with the dudes, there's no like big follow-up. Top 8 had Vayu Turbo, 2 Blackwings, Diva Hero, 1 Frog, and 2 unknowns. Thank you, Mr. Yaga. I'll take your word for that. Well, we will see the precise lists later. Hydra's big thinking here. Yeah, this is a big think moment, honestly. Because this Dust Shoot is very not obvious what the hell you're supposed to do with these 5. He takes Shura, actually. So maybe he's got like a plan for this Shura, and he doesn't. I don't know. Feels like you're leaving the redundant card there, but again, there's like 5 cards in Hydro Pump's hand. We don't really know, and he's probably basing his decision on that. So it's hard to say what the correct Dust Shoot is in this situation where it is very not obvious. Ryan says other 2 were both Diva Hero beat. A lot more heroes. It's like hero season in Edison format. I've seen hero decks everywhere this year. I'm kind of down for it. I think that heroes are pretty neat. I mean, hero beat is kind of lame, but like anything with Diva and Miracles, well, yeah, pretty cool. Yana may go special to Bora. Summon the Blizzard. That's wild. Was it right to summon Blizzard here? It's probably fine, since you have another one. If you didn't have the another one, there's no way, but Since you have another one, and you just want to get real aggressive here, maybe I could see it. And it does play around Gores fine, because you could just make, like, Goyo main 2 or something. And you'd be chilling. Hydro kind of needs to make a play next turn, though. Because that was a big hit he took. So, just going to make the Goyo main 2. I wonder if that means the face down is probably not Ick Attack. At this point, you're kind of committed to this super aggro game plan, so you should probably just set the bottomless. Ronak was on Polyhero stuff. That's cool. Ronak's always on something cool. Mad respect for Ronak. One of the best Edison players out there. The Frog Guru. So Yandere is thinking about setting this bottomless or not. I think you should just set it. Probably. You just need to, like... You just need to win next turn, I think, from this position. That's what you're going for. That's, like, the only thing he could be thinking about. Okay, he's not going to do it. Well, I guess you still have a Blizzard. I don't know. I feel like Heavy Storm into follow-up play still basically beats you here, though. Whether you hold on to the... Like, Bottomless is a super weird card, and part of the reason I don't like playing it is because it feels like you just always have to set it when you draw it. Because if you set it later, after they've done their play, it's just worthless. It's only useful if it's preset. So, and it just feels real awkward in a lot of situations where it's like, I can play around heavy, but then this bottomless might as well not even be a card if I hold it in my hand and my opponent just does their play. And then I just like set my bottomless into their established field. I wonder if Yandere drew the bottomless for turn going on his second turn. I feel like he probably did, but because he would just set that turn one. All right, Hydro does have the funny card. Oh man, that is brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Brain Control. This should be like the signature card of the format. I'm getting convinced more and more that's actually even more ridiculous than Dust Shoot. Actually, Hydro had Brain and Dust Shoot this game. Hydro is just sacking. Can we all be clear here? Hydro is just sacking the hell out of Yandere in game one. Like, okay, it is D-Prison. But that's a +1 for Hydro that clears the big guy and the back row, so... You're still feeling pretty good here. Brain Control format, indeed. We gotta rename it from Edison format to like Brain Dad Dust Shoot format or something. It's like the Edison Trinity. Maybe Dad less so, since not every deck can play that, but... I don't know, a lot of decks can play it. There's a lot of good Dark Monsters. Konami is fond of Dark Monsters, in case you haven't noticed over the years. Brain greater than Royal Oppression? Brain is definitely greater than Royal Oppression. Royal Oppression is sort of a mid card, actually. Well, it's not mid, you know. It's like, it's playable. It's good enough to play, but it's not on like Brain Control level, you know. It's not on that like crazy sacky one-off power card level that a lot of the other cards in Edison are on. Dust Shoot's just like an okay card. Or Dust Shoot. No, Dust Shoot's crazy. Oppression's like an okay card. Speaking of which, there's an Oppression being flipped right now. I do feel like Oppression kind of messes up Blackwings a lot worse than people think. Like, I wouldn't side it versus Blackwings, but whenever I'm playing against Blackwings, I feel like I'm actively trying to get them to flip their Oppression, because that just means all of like the craziest plays are turned off. Like, there's no spam the field with Boro randomly kill me. There's no, like, Blizzard Brionac randomly kill me. There's no Dark Armed randomly kill me. So it just feels like it slows down the game a lot in a way that Blackwings really don't want to in a lot of situations, because a lot of times they're just rushing to kill you. And he's going to run into a Raikou too. Man, this is just over. Okay, it's not over because Hydra's on 16, so he could just maybe die to brain control. It would be funny if he just died to brain control this game. It would be sad and funny at the same time. You can't sack people with royal oppression. Yeah, that's basically true. Like, it's just not a sack card. I mean, it's also just inherently not as crazy as Brain or Dust Shoot is. There are a lot of crazy cards in Edison if you think about it. But that's part of the fun. You know, I wouldn't change it. I complain about BrainCon a lot, but I feel like BrainCon being in the format can be good sometimes because it just means every deck has like a free, really good out to establish boards, which means that like you really got to be careful about overextending in Edison. Even though we don't have Dark Hole, like I would probably prefer that we just have Dark Hole, but Dark Hole also loses to like Road and Stardust and stuff, and Brain doesn't. Better than most floodgates by design, and you Royal's a weird card. Yeah, Oppression's a crazy floodgate, don't get me wrong, but am I wearing a wig? No. No, my hair is completely natural, I'll have you know. Thank you very much. Hydra is going to summon a Vayu. Okay, so now Nick attack. Have we... This set card has been here all game from Yandere, right? I'm not wrong about this, right? It's just been here all game. Hitting the hamster and the burial with the Ick attack is not bad. But there's just going to be another actual back row probably set here. And I don't know what you even need to draw here. Like, Siroko's okay, assuming this isn't bottomless or deep prison, which it could very well be. High chance. High probability. Oh, I haven't said it yet, but everyone, be sure to like the stream. We gotta get as many people watching this video as possible. Watching this Peak of the Beak finals helps out in the algorithm, so please slam that like button for me. It would be very helpful. All right, Yandere top decks a Bora, which is okay. It's a monster. But if you hit over this... Okay, never mind. Just gonna Torrential. That was a kind of greedy Torrential. I feel like you were in a great spot no matter what. He just like has to sit here. He can't even hit over it, because if he hits over it, you're just gonna kill him with the Vayu Synchro guy. Unless this back row... Oh, no, wait. I just remembered. The back row was originally Deep Prison, and he used that on on like turn 3 or something. Use that on the BrainCon Goyo. So this is a new back row. If Bora does damage, the oppression would be dead. That's a good point. Wait, is that... Yeah, that's true. Okay. Did the math. I can see why you would Torrential then in that case. Forgot Hydra was so low. How did Hydra get... Oh, yeah. Yandere like normal summon a Blizzard and special to Bora and hit directly for a bunch. See, I'm still wondering on that turn why he didn't Dust Shoot the Bora back. Because then that would have just put him in such an awkward spot. Or even like one of the Blizzards to make it so it's like one less follow-up play. But maybe he had the oppression by then, so it's just like let him keep the Blizzards. But I still think you should put back the Bora just to take less damage. Especially if you have the oppression. Alright, someone has called the back row being bottomless, and they were right, so... Congratulations. It's not super going to matter, though, because Armageddonite is, like, insane here. It's just going to be another... Oh, he actually sends Gardna. That's really passive. That's just, like... That's just, like, shaking in your boots, terrified that the opponent's going to top deck a Shura or something. I don't know. Couldn't you just send a Vayu here and hit for 4k? What top deck is going to... He's on one card. How does he kill you? How does he kill you through Armageddon plus Armwing? Oh, I guess Sirocco. Sirocco top deck would kill you there. You know what? Hydra is smarter than me. God, it's one thing I hate about the Blackwing Well, not really a mirror because it's Bayou versus Blackwings, but I do hate the Sirocco stacking. That card didn't even need another effect. It could have just been a 2K dude that you summon, but they decided to give it one, which was dumb. Could be Caius and Hydra's hand. Oh, that's an interesting one. I think in hindsight you should send Necro either way, so you don't. Because if you go for that other play, you would die to the Bora, or to the Sirocco. Well, maybe he does have a Caius anyway. Bayou's kind of a really, I don't know, representative of the format deck because it plays like so many just iconic Edison cards, like the Hamster Raikou and the Caius and the Dark Armed, Brain Controlled. You know, every one of those one-off crazy Allure. A lot of the dark stuff is just pretty good. Phantom Darkness feels like it's still the most relevant, important set in Edison format. Alright, it looks like Rhynide was right on point about that Caius. And it's going to hit a mirror, which is, whew, it's painful. It's a matchup you would hate to play from either side. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in the bird mirror. Well, like I said, not really a mirror, but it's like a pseudo mirror because Sirocco doesn't care that they're different decks. They say Blackwing on them, so. Another Caius, bro. Well, that's the end of that game. I think Yandere may be overcommitted on that turn where he summoned the Blizzard, but it probably didn't matter into oppression that he had no out to, so. And I never figured out why Hydro dust shooted the Shura instead of the Bora. Because you just taken a lot less damage there, and you had the oppression, so you really want to take less damage there. Well, it is what it is. We're going to game number 2. Hydro takes game 1. So, he's officially in a favored spot to win the whole thing, which would be back-to-back first place wins for Hydro Pump. That'd be absolutely wild. I don't know. Who do we think is going to take it? What do we got Hydro, we got Yandere. Type 1 for Hydro, 2 for Yandere. Who do you think's going to win? I'm not really sure. I still think it could kind of go either way. The nature of this matchup is just so volatile. It's like both decks can just like go crazy with Brain Control and Dad especially, and then like Sirocco on top of that. And they're both super aggro, can just like OTK kill out of nowhere. We've got some ones in the chat. People are thinking Hydro. Well, he is up a game, so I mean, it's probably a good bet. Raikou, Hamster, Caius, and Vi is good against Blackwings. Yeah. Those cards are all pretty good against Blackwings, actually, which is the neat thing. Like, even Raikou's not that bad against Blackwings. It's bad if they, like, 37 pierce over it. But in any other situation, it's, like, pretty good. The piercing can hurt, though. That is a thing. However, Hamster is extremely good. Caius is extremely good. Just, like, Blackwings really don't want their monsters getting banished. They can have serious issues if they just, like, run out of dudes and don't have anything in their grave either. Hydra's thinking hard about playing around Dick Attack here. He is going to play around Dick Attack. Probably a smart move. You think it's difficult for value game 2 and 3? Blackwing has more side deck for value. I don't know how much either one has that much crazy hate for the other one. What's Blackwing bringing in, like, specifically to hate on value? Is there anything actually, like, great that they side? I can't think of anything. I guess Crow. Crow's okay. Crow's definitely better versus value than it is versus Blackwings. Nobleman is pretty good versus value. Alright, I can see that one. Greph are going to be summoned here. And just going to poke. Not using Greph for effect, huh? Seems a little weird. Maybe he's gonna like main 2 do something with the Grepher. I don't know. Last game when he did like a play like this, it was with Blizzard, where he just summoned Blizzard just for damage. And I don't feel like it's correct to do that, but I don't know. Damage can be pretty valuable when you're playing Blackwings, I guess. But I feel like you want to summon a guy like this with actual purpose, you know? Not just a poke for... Okay, so the Ick attack is here. That's real bad. That is really not good for a Hydro. He might die randomly this turn because of... If there's a... Well, we don't know that he has a Sirocco or a value in hand. He probably doesn't, but he could still just kill with so many cards. Hydra's only on 46. Unless he has Gores, which I don't know if he's playing that in the main or not. Blizzard or Collude in hand. Some combination of that would kill. Yeah, there's so many ways Hydra just dies here. Man, that was a killer Ick attack in end phase. Seems like Hydra just kind of drew a slow hand going second. Post board versus Blackwings, which is just... It's not going to cut it. Blizzard being summoned. This isn't actually lethal by itself. Because the most he can do is make Goyo for 45. But if he has Collude or something... Alright, Collude in hand will do it. You have to play around that for sure. Alright, well, Hydra's just dead. I don't know, next time just draw your Grepher or your Card Trooper or your going second cards. Value is one of those decks that feels a lot worse going second. At least a lot of the time. I feel like you need to have like those... Probably double Sidra in game 2 in this matchup. Because you like just got killed by the fact that you were going second. Or like Nobleman plus some normal summons killed you basically. The knock was definitely unfortunate. Knock's always a card that you're infuriated to lose to in Edison format, because it's like okay, but it's definitely not a card that you're ever playing around, you know? It's not really prevalent enough to consider, like, oh, maybe I should play around Nobleman here. Like, nah. Let people in GOAT format play around that card. I'm just going to set my set monster. format's like too fast to play around knock too. You can't just like set knock bait, especially not against like Blackwings or something. You know that just sounds real bad. That sounds like the worst play ever. I'm gonna set my Sangan instead of my Raikou, try and get them to knock, and then they just summon Shura and hit over it or something. Oh, sounds like garbage. Bait setting your Vayu. They just like go Bora, hit over it, and they get a +1 and 17 damage. Yeah, it's awful. So it's kind of just like a what can you do sort of situation when you get that card sided against you. The what you can do actually is like side out your Raikous, but Vayu can't really do that. So interested to see what Hydro does here in this game number 3. This is single limb, by the way, so whoever wins this one wins it all. Charge for Raikou, set Snowman. I mean, charge for Raikou and then like set something else is definitely a sick play, and you should do it 100% of the time. That play is awesome, like, because they will play around it being Raikou at that point. Like, especially right now, a lot of people play around it being Hamster or something, or depending on what you're playing, but if you charge for Raikou and set something, they pretty much have to assume it's Raikou at that point. Because Raikou is a set monster that they know for sure is in your hand. So even if you're like a good player, you can't really afford to play around that 10,000 IQ bait. Charge for Raikou, set DD Survivor. They knock your Survivor. Wait, does Survivor have to be face up when it leaves the field? I don't think so, right? Maybe it does, though. I haven't read that card in a while. So Hydra's going first this time. He opens up that Dark Grepher plus Vayu, sends a Necro Gardener, sets 2. Is there going to be a Dust Shoot? Does he have it again? Does he have it again? No. Okay, tragic. Aloha. You always love to be resolving that Allure. It's basically like Graceful Charity and Edison. Except, you know, much, much, much less powerful. But it's our version, and it's what we got, so. Yandere thinking a while here on what he's going to banish. Allure can always be like such a big think card where you've got like multiple dark monsters. You don't really want to banish any of them. There's definitely a lot of hands like this. He's going to banish Dad. Yeah, that never feels good. Good news for Hydra. It doesn't have to worry about getting sacked by Dad in Game 3 of the finals. That will not happen to Hydro today. Banish DD Scout Plane with Allure. Yo, I should make a deck that plays DD Scout Plane. I don't know how I'd do it. It sounds awful. It sounds like it would just be Macro Monarch, which it's probably not even good in that. Hydra's Bottomless, which is just amazing going first versus Blackwings. But Yandere has the Cyber Dragon. Interesting that he summoned the Sorako first and then the Cyber Dragon. What's the other card? Or he's not going to use Gardna to protect, so he probably doesn't have another Dark in hand. So Yandere did bring in the Hydra going second. I mean, maybe Hydra did as well. We didn't really see. Gonna set 3 cards. It's a lot of back row. Maybe they both have Hydra in at this point. You remember your friends playing Scout Plane with Strike Ninja? Strike Ninja was such a cool deck. Okay, Hydro actually does have the Sidra into the Sidra, and he sniped the bottomless trap hole with Dust Tornado. Hydra's just such a good player, apparently. Just truly extraordinary, amazing. What a gamer. Because bottomless is like the best and only out to this, except oppression. Okay, he's got Solemn Judgment. That's a real expensive stop, though, just to stop the Cyber Dragon. Hydra hasn't even committed his normal summon. And apparently is not going to commit his normal summon because he doesn't have one. What on earth is this card that you're holding in hand? Sirocco, maybe? A Sirocco that you drew for turn? That's like about all I could think of. Seems kind of unlikely, though. Because again, he would have had to draw it for turn. Because there's no way you would just let your Greffer die if you had a Sirocco chilling in your hand. Gonna poke for 21. Hydro's thinking. Probably just gonna take it. Now he's gonna deep prison. Huh. Deep prisoning the Sidra makes it seem like he's in a real bad spot. Wonder what this back row is. Could it just be like a bluff? Could be a deep prison. Could just be like any battle trap. It's probably not Icarus. Alright, Hydra is summoning another Greffer. Does he even have something to use this with? What is this, a torrential? A book? It can't be bottomless, right? He would have just bottomless the Sidra. I guess it could be torrential, but Blackwings don't generally play that card. Huh. Just gonna poke for 17. It's not a battle trap, or at least it's not. It's probably not dimensional prison. Maybe it's a mirror. He's being greedy with it. Well, an interesting spot. Yandeme's up cards, but Hydro does have some grave resources. Got like half of a Vayu and a Necro Gardna. I feel like you gotta protect this Greffer here. Yandeme doesn't have any Vayu? I'm confused. What are you saying? I thought he's playing hybrid. Or do you mean he's not on Vayu the deck? I thought that should kind of be obvious by what's on the screen. Does Hydro play Sork? Probably does, right? I feel like most builds are on Sork these days. Plus, I mean, his DB profile picture is of Sork, so, I mean, if he's not playing Sork, what exactly is going on here? Oh, you're responding to some guy in the chat. Speaking of which, guys in the chat, you gotta like this video, or this stream. We don't have enough likes. The stream needs more likes, demands more likes. Yandeme has slammed down the Boar of the Spear that he drew. So he might just like try as hard as possible to out this Greffer. Just go in with both the monsters. But then again, would get really punished if he had a battle trap. He does have a battle trap. No Icarus or anything going to be chained. At this point, I feel like you got a Gardna here. There's a lot of dark monsters you could draw that would just immediately be quite good in terms of pitching for the Vayu. Alright. Or Caius. Just like summon Caius isn't bad. Another back row. Hydro's in dire need of a heavy storm at this point. He's gonna go for the crash. So probably just going to try to get rid of it so he can set a card and play around Icarus. Right, Mirror Force. So that was actually a Mirror Force from earlier, and he was holding it. Gotta say, it's not looking good for Hydro here. All you people who put ones in the chat, you were wrong. I mean, I guess he's got a huge life point lead, so he does have many turns to, like, draw something. But he does have to draw something. Oh, he's got 3 darks. He could rip Dad and just win, right? That'd be pretty funny. That'd be a very Edison way to win the tournament. Top deck Dark Armed. Nope, just setting one. Yandere thinking an end phase here. Does he have the Icarus maybe? He does? Does Hydro have a chainable? No. You kind of have to set the dust though. Alright, Blizzard. I mean, that's an issue. You're going to have to answer like a Goyo here. There's still like the threat of Dad Brain, I guess, just randomly sacking. Hydra's on no cards. Is Yandere going to go Brionac? Is that what's happening? Now he goes Goyo, okay. Well, now you can draw, like, Hamster Raikou on Hydra, maybe be okay. I'm beginning to think Goyo was the wrong choice, actually. Brain Control, no. Hydra is drawing only back row this game. No monster. Is it a Battle Trap? No. Hydro does not have the top deck Brain Control win the game option anymore. Has to be Dad. It's Dad or bust. Nope. No Dark Armed. Oh man, it's getting tense. Is this going to be the end? It'd be pretty lame if he just attacked directly with Goyo and that was the end. Nope, that's the end. Man. Hydro just never drew anything in Game 3. What are the back row? Is he going to show them? Show me the back row, Hydro. You know you want to. Ah, you don't have to. Well, what happened? It felt like weird. He just drew a bunch of Dust Tornado and Deep Frizz and didn't draw the cards he needed to draw. Maybe sided out like a bunch of flip monsters because of the knock. I don't know. But it looks like Yandere is going to be the Peak of the Beak 3 champion, winning with Hybrid Blackwings versus Hydro, who is going to finish in a strong second place with Value Turbo. Unfortunately, no back-to-back W's for him, but still very impressive showing. I hope that everyone enjoyed watching the stream of the finals. It was absolutely action-packed, epic as always. I always love doing these little streams for the tournament finals. They're super fun to watch. Competitive Edison is just fun to watch in general for me. That's the kind of content that I love to do and love to watch. So we're going to probably wrap up the stream here, though, now that the match is over. Big congratulations to Yandere and to Hydro Pump, by the way. And I will be doing coverage of the top deck lists later this week, probably. So be sure to look out for that video. But that is going to be all for today. I'll see you